Hey there, Zach with the Matson Pack Dog Training. In this video, I'm going to show you how to teach your dog the heel command. The heel command is a very useful obedience command that can be used in a wide variety of situations. For example, if you're out walking with your dog and you see a vehicle come by, or maybe some other pedestrians walking from the opposite direction, you can quickly call your dog into the heel command to get more control over them as you pass by the distraction in the environment. A tight heel command is also extremely useful when going into public, pet-friendly places or stores that allow dogs. Being able to have your dog close up and by your side in these situations can be extremely valuable in your day-to-day life with your dog. Now, I do want to stress one very important point when it comes to teaching the heel command, especially in my training system. Many trainers and owners will oftentimes teach a dog the heel command and then go on a 15 or 20-minute walk with their dog. For the entire duration of the walk, they will have the dog holding this heel command. This is not how the heel command is intended to be used, but rather it should be used in situations when you need it most, but only for short periods of times. Taking your dog out on a walk for 15 or 20 minutes and expecting the dog to hold that obedience command for the entire duration is very unfair to the dog. After all, you're taking the dog out on a walk so that they can explore and sniff and interact with the environment. It is also difficult for you as the owner to keep the dog maintaining that obedience command. So rather than having the dog in that constant state of obedience, what I recommend for dog owners and many of my clients is to allow the dog to have freedom on the walk, to go out, explore, sniff the grass, and then when those times call for it, when you need that control and you need the dog by your side, you utilize the heel command. Now, if your dog doesn't have a reliable recall, or you're afraid that they're going to wander off and run away from you, you can always utilize either a long line in your training, or you could utilize a flexi leash while going on your walks. I believe that this is the best combination of allowing your dog the freedom to explore and be a dog, while simultaneously adding control into the relationship with your dog. As I mentioned before, I recommend many of my clients to use a long line or a flexi leash when walking their dog. And when it comes to teaching the heel command, I also recommend that you utilize these tools in the early learning stages of this obedience command. To begin to teach the heel command, you will simply go on a walk with your dog and allow them to explore at the extent of the leash that you're using. Well on the walk and the dog is at a reasonable distance away from you, you can give the dog the heel command. Once you give the dog the heel command, you can then utilize the leash to reel the dog back into you and then position them on your left-hand side. Once the dog is back to your left-hand side, you can either have your dog stand or put them into a sit position. As soon as the dog is in the desirable position that you're looking for, you can then immediately release your dog using the release marker and then allow your dog to go back out into the environment to sniff the grass and enjoy their walk. While on your walk, you can repeat this process multiple times. In this early stage of teaching the heel command, we are simply looking for the dog to return to you, go to that side position, and then wait to be released from the obedience command. Just like with any obedience command, we want to first focus on the dog getting into that position before we start to build the duration for that obedience command. As your dog becomes faster and faster getting into the heel position, you can then ask them to maintain that heel position for a longer duration before releasing them with the release marker. As your dog becomes better and better at getting into that position and also holding that obedience position while you're standing still, you can then begin to add movement to the obedience command. To do this, once the dog is in the heel obedience command and by your side, I recommend to give the dog a second heel command and then take 1 to 2 steps forward. As you take those steps forward, you then utilize the leash to guide the dog into that same exact position that you were in. And then you would immediately release the dog. Just like with adding duration, we want to slowly add the amount of steps that we take with our dog before releasing them from the obedience command. As time goes on, you can then add more and more steps to the point where you're walking for 30, 45, or even a minute straight while your dog is maintaining that heel position right by your side. Adding movement to the heel command is very challenging to do, and many times your dog will try to come out in front or go behind as you are walking with them. A good way to help you and your dog maintain this heel command while in motion is to think of there being an imaginary box right next to your side that's about the size of your dog. Anytime your dog steps out of this box, whether it be in front of you, behind you, or to the side, you'll simply use the leash to guide the dog back into that position or that box. Just like with any other obedience command, once we teach the obedience command to our dog, we can then start to incorporate distractions and competing motivators in the environment to really challenge the dog's knowledge of the obedience. Now let me give you a couple quick tips to help you when teaching the heel command to your dog. Firstly, when you start to add in movement to the heel command, I always recommend people stop, get the dog into the proper position, and then release the dog from the heel command. Later on, we can then start to incorporate releasing the dog from the obedience position while we're in motion. But in the early stages, I highly recommend that before you release the dog from the heel command, you always stop in a stationary position, get the dog back into that ideal heel command to your side, and then release them. Another quick tip to help you and your dog is to change directions frequently. Oftentimes, owners get stuck in this habit of putting their dog in a heel command and then walking a straight line for maybe 50 or 100 yards. This is going to create issues in your heel. As the dog is going to see that we're going in one straight direction, they're going to want to either pull ahead or fall behind. By quickly changing your direction, taking sharp U-turns, left turns or right turns in a pivoting motion, and then also keeping the dog in that heel command, you're going to better keep their focus on you and keep the dog on their toes. This is going to cause the dog to pay close attention to you, as they need to closely watch your movements in order to predict what's going to happen next. The last quick tip I have for you is to make sure to give your dog ample time outside of the heel after every single repetition. You can quickly destroy your dog's motivation if you put your dog into a heel command, release them for only a few brief moments, and then put them back into that heel command. When you're on a 15 or 20 minute walk with your dog, you should aim to only put your dog in the heel command 3 or 4 times during that walk. And you should only have your dog in the heel command for a few moments at a time, especially in the early stages where the dog is learning to get into that obedience position. Remember, the heel command is meant to be something temporary that you and your dog use in order to navigate situations with distractions or in crowded, tight spaces. It is not meant to put your dog in an obedience command for an extended period of time. One thing I remind my clients very frequently is that the better control and obedience you have over your dog when you need it allows you to give your dog more freedom on a daily basis. I think the heel command perfectly summarizes this concept in training, where we should only utilize it when we need it in situations where we and our dogs can benefit. Meanwhile, if we do not need to put the dog in a heel command, or we are not actively teaching the dog the heel command, there's no need to put them in a heel command on a walk. I hope you find this video helpful in your training endeavors. And until next time, keep on training.